Um, Let us meditate. Oh, excuse me. Oh, wow, that was not dignified. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after reciting a concise meditation manual. From an evolutionary perspective, stress is anything that circumstantially, physically, interpersonally, or mentally inhibits our ability to survive and thrive as a species. We evolved a collection of survival instincts to endure those stressors. These are fine when we use sparingly, but since the Neolithic Revolution, we as a species have been forced to overuse them. Enslaved by the fleeting short-term pleasures of our dopamine-oriented reward system, we have become defined by our controlling tendencies, and as such, overfocus, overanalyze, and overbelieve to such a degree that we exhaust our dorsolateral and medial prefrontal cortex, which triggers our amygdala, the seat of anxiety and aggression, causing cowardice, competition, and cruelty to be the guiding light by which we needlessly squander our brief human lives, the fulfillment of which we yearn. Take two. The fulfillment for which we yearn could only be delivered by our oxytocin-oriented system that rewards for cooperation and kindness. This meaningful path has 8 folds. Let us forsake the exhausting habit of actively fighting against our own autonomic nervous system, the hardware of our Buddha nature, and instead with it cooperate by silently and mentally reciting the verb watch every time we feel our chest subtly swell as we inhale, and by silently and mentally reciting the verb rest each time we feel our chest subtly sink as gently we exhale. Come, let us explore how this works. During each inhalation, spontaneous and uncontrived, the sympathetic nervous system has centered in the middle bit of our spinal cord, is already wired to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly watch our perceptions. The sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, and scents of the 4 bases of mindfulness, the circumstantial, the physical, the interpersonal, and the mental, including our abilities to emote, intend, reason, recall, and imagine. Instead of indulging our controlling tendencies to shove at circumstantial danger, physical pain, interpersonal scorn, and mental shame, as well as reach for circumstantial safety, physical bliss, interpersonal praise, and mental fame, let us choose to be vulnerable to all that we experience, from the external to the internal, from the physical to the mental, from the pleasurable to the painful, from the interesting to the boring, from the glorious to the grotesque. What are we to do with all that we watch? Simple. With every exhalation, the top bit and the bottom bit of that same spinal cord, known as our parasympathetic nervous system, is already wired to rest in such a manner that which we noticed during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel less stressful, less permanent, and less defining, and even as non-graspable as a vast empty void, like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although could look tantalizing to the eye, could feel non-graspable to the hand. Until, of course, the next inhalation, when the cycle begins afresh. Like the ticking pendulum of a grandfather clock, we continue. Oh, this is an excellent opportunity to edit. Please bear with me. Like the ticking pendulum of a grandfather clock, we continue to watch mind's antics and rest, in its non-graspable nature. Let's add a consonant and add a space. The acquisition of a new skill could make us anxious and even feel that we, like Rip Van Winkle, could sit to meditate only to open our eyes and find that a century has passed us by. Some have found that the best way to non-neurotically time our meditation is to practice a variation of Bengali crease counting. It could take more than 1 minute to count 16 inhalations by touching the tip of our right thumb to the creases and tips of its little ring, middle, and index fingers. It could take more than 20 minutes to count 16 sets of 16 inhalations each by touching the tip of our left thumb to the creases and tips of its little ring, middle, and index fingers. It could take more than an hour to collect 3 collections of 16 sets of 16 inhalations each by using the tip of our left middle finger to first support our right middle finger's larger lower knuckle. Then support its middle knuckle, and then its very small knuckle. All the while resting both hands palms up in our lap. Remember, that which at first feels awkward could be mastered if practiced every 12 hours for only a week or so. As we sit and breathe and watch and rest, all that we notice could effortlessly come to feel impermanent, evanescent, and utterly subject to change. The more we sit and breathe and watch and rest, the more our angry and aggressive amygdala is calmed, and the more our empathetic anterior cingulate gyrus is gently stimulated, so marinating our experience of the 4 bases of mindfulness, that mentally our intentions are spontaneously kinder, and interpersonally our utterances are naturally kinder. Physically our conduct is automatically kinder, and circumstantially our commerce is impulsively kinder. Thus, forging a heaven on earth, eventually a peaceful death, and even an auspicious rebirth, if there is such a thing. The more we sit and breathe and watch and rest, the more we automatically experience the effortless effort, or Wu Wei. that comes not from a calculated contrivance, nor from wild scatteredness, but instead from love's deeply centered spontaneity. Let us transcend our elitist conditioning to consider the possibility that enlightenment is merely mastery of this Eightfold Path. As children, the skills to use the toilet, brush our teeth, tie our shoes, and ride a bike felt insurmountable. And yet, with time and effort and tears, we so mastered these skills that we could perform them spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. Similarly, enlightenment's Eightfold Path is likewise effortless. Perhaps that is why in the second and final passage of his discourse on the 4 bases of mindfulness, the Buddha is said to have explained that one could master this path in as little as 7 days. Not doing so does not take 2. No, doing so does not mean we'll never experience any pain ever again. It simply means we will have mastered the Buddha's figurative tool chest, wherewith we could sustainably respond to each sling and arrow of outrageous fortune. So, once every 12 hours or so, may we sit and breathe and watch and rest. Having completed our opening recitation, let us shift gears. It is Luke Skywalker Friday mid-morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi. After about 30 seconds of housekeeping, this is the Dzogchen Sande Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School for more than 30 years. I have harnessed my autistic special interests as well as my ADHD hyperfocus to spend about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I could become your personal, nerdy, neurodivergent guide to Nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. Together, let us sit and breathe and watch and rest. Together, let us recite the 15th poem of the Tao Te Ching. If you'd like to read along with me, join me on the tube app. The ancient masters were profound and subtle. Their wisdom was unfathomable. There is no way to describe it. All we can describe is their appearance. They were careful as someone crossing an iced-over stream, alert as a warrior in enemy territory, courteous as a guest, fluid as melting ice, shapeable as a block of wood, receptive as a valley, clear as a glass of water. Do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving until the right action arises by itself? The sage does not seek fulfillment. Not seeking, not expecting, she is present and can welcome all things. Well, that's weird. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In about 3 1/3 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's third recitation and meditation. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.